Hello, hi, welcome back to Success Automation. This is new series related to Java. So in today's topic, I'm going to talk about the Java methods. What is method, why we use methods, how to create the method and all that. So quickly I'll go to the Eclipse. I'll go to Eclipse here. So whenever you create any class, whenever you create a class, you'll get the structure like this. So this structure, when you see the structure here, you need to give public, and public is a reserved and class is a reserved, and you can give the class name anything. So when you want to create any class, uh, just create the folder here and create one new here. Just create the class test methods. Test methods. You can create the methods like this. You can create the methods like this. So whenever you create the class, you'll get the class name and you'll get the public static void main. This is the default method you get. You'll get the default class name and method you'll get. So this main method is predefined method, Java supported method. So whenever you want to execute any code, you should have this structure. Without this structure, you cannot do. So how to create the method here? This method is any method. You can create any method here. The method name here, what you are doing, you are creating the method. So this is the method and this is void. What is void? I will tell you. Before that, how to create the method? We'll create the method by any name. You can give any name here. Display, show, salary, anything you can give. And this is the return type. I'll tell you what is return type. So whenever you want to create a method, you have to do like this. And when you create a method, you should not put void and method name together. You need to give the space here because void is a reserved, display is the user defined method name. These are all user defined. User defined. User defined method. So whenever you create any user defined method, you should have the space here because void is a reserved and use method name is different. So after you give the method name, you need to put the bracket, this bracket, two brackets. This bracket, some people they'll call as a C bracket. So don't put the space here and put like this. And you need to start with a flower bracket. The best way, like um, the Java developers, any people who do the coding, they'll put the bracket here. So you need to put the bracket here and you need to close. This is the block of code for this method. So whenever you call this method, when you call this method, only this block of code will execute. Whatever you put inside this, it will execute. So whenever you open the flower bracket, you need to close the flower bracket. And whenever you open this C bracket, you need to close. So like this, you can create a method. So this method is user defined method. Now, once you create the method, you want to put something. S by S O. If you have Eclipse, put S by S O. Control space. Automatically, it will generate the system.out.println for you. So now, my first user define method. Okay. Once you create this is how you have to create the method. So remember that in general practice, the coding standard, the method name will be start with small letter. You can give like this also, capital letter, but that's a coding standard. For method, we'll give the small letter. Okay. Once you create this method, if you want to call, if you want to execute this method, you need to create the object. So as you know, whenever, if anything is there in the class, something is there in the class, it may be a method or variable, whatever it is there, you need to create the object. So how to create the object? Copy the class name here, class name, and you give the object name, anything here, new and object. So whenever you create the object, remember this should have space here. The class name and object name should have the space. You should not merge two class name and object name in a single word. Put the bracket. This may be any name, object, object1, anything you can give, and this is equal to, you can give here, doesn't matter, you can give like this. You can after object you can give is equal to, after that you can give new, doesn't matter, but you should not merge new and the class name. This is a class name, you cannot do like this. So what you need to do, you need to put like this. So when you want to create an object of a class, you need to copy this class name, put it here, and object name, and equal to symbol, and new, and the class name. Once you give the class name, you need to put the two brackets here, and you need to put the semicolon. If you see in Java, end of the any statement, it will be having the semicolon. If you see here, here also semicolon, here also semicolon. So now we created the method and we created the object. So as I told, whenever you want to call anything from the class, you need to create object. So by using this object, you need to call the method. So I'm just putting here dot display. So like this you need to call. So use the object dot display. So like this you need to call the method. This is called calling a method. Calling the method or executing method. Executing the method. So what is the, this is also main method, main also method. If you see here, main also method, but main is a Java defined method. It is not user defined method. User defined means when somebody want to create, for example, I'm a Java developer, I'm an automation engineer, I want to create my own method, that is called user defined. Whereas this main is a Java defined method, is a predefined method. So anything you want to execute in a Java programming, you need to call from this main method. A main method is like your main door in your home. Whenever somebody want to enter your home, there will have some main gate or main door, right? Similarly, this is also the main method. So once I return this, I'll right click this and I'll run the method. Just right click here, run as Java application. It is asking the same method. Just save it. See, my first user defined method, it has executed. So like this, you can create the method and you can call the method like this. So anybody have question here? Vasavi, Yasmin, anybody? Anybody have
No,
question?
sir, it was clear.
Clear, right?
Clear, sir. Clear.
Okay.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
yes, sir.
Everybody understood, no issue, right? Shaz, no, you don't have any.
Yes, yes. Yeah,
Everybody
yeah.
understood. Yeah.
No issue, sir.
Okay.
Yeah,
Now
clear, sir.
I'll create another class. Now we have covered how to create the method, and how to call the method. Okay, this is done. Now we'll do method with arguments. So method with what argument? What is that? I'll tell you. So again, I'm just right click, new class. Okay, method argument. Okay, select this one. Now again, so one more question I wanted. Why we will create the method? So to have the uh, to maintain the modularity. Modularity means if you don't have the different methods, if you want to write some huge code, it's very tough to debug. Even if you want to see, if you don't have a method, and assume that, I'll show you one example here. What is the intention of method? I'll tell you why we'll get method. I'll show you here. So I'll give one real example. There is a big hall. Okay, in this big hall there are some people 1 2 3 blah 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 blah, lot of things are there. Assume that there are in a big hall 1,000 guys are there. Okay, you have 1,000 people. If in a big hall you have 1,000 people, so if for example you want to call the person 1, so you say somebody is coming from outside, and he want to call the particular person 1. So this guy who is coming from outside, he don't know some person A, some person. So when he want to get the information A, it's very tough to find the person, because he need to ask each and every person, and he need to ask whether your person A or B. So instead of that, if you have this big hall and you have some rooms. Okay, you have rooms here. Okay, you have big, some four rooms are there. I assume that some rooms are there, some rooms are there. Okay, now in this room 1 to 10. Okay, in this room another room there is 11 to 20. Okay, so if somebody want to get the information from XYZ, you can say room number 1. This is the room number 1. Okay, room number 1, there are 1 to 10%, and you can specify the number XYZ is XY1 blah blah blah. So if somebody want to interact the person room number 1, he can directly come to room number 1 and easily he can check the person XYZ. So for that purpose we'll use the modularity. Modularity means if you in a supermarket, if you go, they will create a section 1, section 2, section 3, section 4. Like for example, grocery, they'll create some soap, etc. They'll put the separate section. Why they are putting, instead of that, different section, they can put everything in the big hall, right? So people will feel difficulty to identify which item is where. For so to avoid confusion, or to whenever you want to search something, it's very difficult to put everything in a one place. For that reason we'll create a modules. Okay, that is nothing but a function in Java. So now we talk about the what is the use of function. Now we'll create another function here. Okay, we create another function add, and I want to give int a comma b. Okay, whenever you give something here, data type, this is nothing but a method with argument. These are called arguments. So arguments are nothing but a data type. You can define some variables here. Okay, these variables are nothing but arguments. Sometimes they'll call parameters, arguments, or some guys they will call as a parameters. Okay, so whenever you give the argument here, how to pass this value? So first of all, I'll tell you how to print this. I'll print these values. A, okay, and B. Okay, so what I'm doing, I created one method with argument 1, argument 2, and this is the data type. You cannot give like this. You have to give like this because this is reserved and this A is a user defined variable. Similarly, after A you can give comma here, or you can give space here, or best way is like this, and after that you give some space. You should not give like this, give some space, and this is a data type, and after data type you don't give like this, use some space and give the variable. So like this I created a method with two arguments, and I'm printing the a and b. So whenever you want to call this method, how to do? You need to create the object. So how to create the object? As I told, class name, anything you can give, object you can give, equal to new class name, put two brackets and semicolon. Now you created the object. So how to call? Use this object, object dot add. So 10 comma 20. Why I am passing 10 and 20 here? Because the data type is integer. What data type you given here, that value only you can send. You cannot pass like this. This is string. It will give error. It will say that you declare the data type as a first argument as an integer. You cannot pass string. You need to pass the integer value. So as there are two arguments, you need to pass only two values and with comma separated. For example, you cannot do like this 30 because there is no third argument here. So you need to give two arguments. So now I given 10 and 20. So this 10 will be stored to the assigned to this A, and 20 will be assigned to the B. Mute.
Okay, sir.
Mute. Don't unmute. Right click this and print this value. See here. A value is 10 printed here. Okay. B value is 20, it printed here. Now we are just displaying 10 and 20. What exactly it is? So to display some meaningful value, just A equal to, you give like this, plus you need to give here also B equal to quotes plus. You cannot put comma here. Some people will put comma and try to do. No, you cannot give like this comma. You have to give plus. Remember this. You have to give plus. Okay. Now if I run the program, it will give the meaningful. A is equal to 10, B is equal to 20. So we got some meaningful values. So if you don't give if you don't give this one, it won't print anything here. So what actually we are printing? Somebody should know, right? That's the reason you're giving. You can give like this also. A value. You can give like this. B value. Dash. Whatever you give in the inside the code, it will print. Okay. See, now it will print. Whatever you give inside these codes, everything will display, and whatever the value stored in A, it will print. It won't print A. It will print the A value what you have passed here. You have passed 10 here, right? This one. This will go here and print here. Similarly, you pass 20 here, that value take it and it will print. Like this, you can give the arguments to the method. You can give arguments anything. Now I give an integer, you can give string, you can give float, anything you can give. Clear? Anybody have a question now? Tell me now. Yasmin, you're able to understand?
Yes.
Clear, right?
Yes, sir.
You don't have any issue. Shaz, you understood? Huh?
No, we don't have it.
Yes, sir.
Clear? 100%.
Yeah, it's clear, sir. Yeah, it's 100% clear, sir.
So this is all about the method and method with argument. Okay, just a minute. I will stop this recording. Okay, I want to stop this.